Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is September the 11th, 2019. Strong hand, conviction in motion. All right. Hello, my elite friends. How are you doing? Remember, check out the links below. Follow me on Twitter, TECHBALT. That's TechBalt, sportsmeister.com. All my podcasts, if you want to listen in podcast form. Let us jump into this show right away. Matt Odell tweeted out, and again, I retweeted it. He is going to be, he introduced a company to me that I never heard of, Bottle.li. Bottle.li. Be part of introducing 3 billion social media users to Bitcoin. Bottle uses social networks to help make Bitcoin accessible for everyone. And Matt said he's excited to announce he's joining the team at Bottle Pay, and that's their Twitter. It's all linked to below. As an advisor, our plan, build the most user-friendly Lightning wallet on the market. Our promise, users come first, always. Our goal, introduce Bitcoin to 1 billion new users over the next 5 years. Well, there's some lofty goals right there, but hey, that's in motion. That's dreaming about a good Lightning Network wallet that is going to get regular people through social media into Bitcoin, 1 billion of them. That would be great for Bitcoin. Go for it, dudes. And you can read more about it at their site. It is linked to below. Sounds big. And he just tweeted that out. I hadn't heard of this company before. Let's keep an eye on it. CoinDesk article. I rarely talk about these, but Coinbase may soon get in the business of initial exchange offerings. IEO platform so they want to have an IEO platform at Coinbase. They made an announcement in Asia. And it just makes me wonder how many, and I've said this before, how many people are buying Bitcoin in America at Coinbase if they need to get into yet another interesting product. Now, is this even going to get approved by are they going to be allowed to do this in America? That wasn't clear in the article. To have an IEO, I mean, they're down with some of the things. They're down with the SEC in some ways, but we're talking about something that's bordering on a security platform. And hey, I'm not a government regulation guy. I would say let them do it, okay? But I know how the government freaks are. But Coinbase is basically in bed with the government freaks. My point is, again, bringing this up, why are they getting into this thing? They've got an exchange with a lot of altcoins, with some Bitcoin. And again, I think they want new users. They want something to spark new users. I don't think they're getting enough new users, because I don't think we have enough. I don't think we have hardly any new people joining the entire crypto space right now. Or at least it's not making up for all the weak hands that have dropped out and are still dropping out, because they're still valuing their wealth in altcoins and don't realize they should have gotten to Bitcoin a long time ago. Pound that like button. Bitcoin defiance, Ripple compliance. So sort of related note, Jack Dorsey apparently is going to be on Scott Adams' show very soon. Scott Adams can ask some pretty good questions, and he knows about cryptocurrency, so maybe Bitcoin will come up. Not guaranteed. I'll update you guys when that comes up, but I heard about this yesterday. And we've got the people at CoinGecko. Now, CoinGecko, I give them credit. They're trying to compete with CoinMarketCap, which just dominates the market. The keeping track of and ranking exchanges and coin market. That most people go to CoinMarketCap, and we're going to talk more about CoinMarketCap in a second. But CoinGecko, a competitor, they have something called Trust Score 2.0. I link to their blog where they explain it. I'll read a little bit. When we first developed TrustScore, we wanted to focus on liquidity metrics to provide more insights into exchanges' real liquidity. As we continue to iterate and improve on our methodologies, we have found other measures that define a good exchange from a user's perspective. We have bucketed them into the following categories: liquidity API, technical coverage, scale of operations, cryptocurrency reserves, regulatory compliance. We have upgraded TrustScore to version 2.0 to incorporate all the above categories. Okay, I don't care about the regulatory compliance, but you do, I guess, dudes making up this ranking. Above categories, as there is no way to easily synthesize all the above into something that can be easily understood at one glance. Exchanges are now graded on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best exchanges and 1 being the worst. Okay, so they've got a new score that takes into a lot of other measurements, including regulatory compliance. I like cryptocurrency reserves, that they take that into consideration when deciding how good. Again, for me, it's information only, information purposes only, because I don't use exchanges. And it's interesting to see that, people pretty much agree on the top 10. But then you can see the really lowly ranked ones, and you should know better than to touch them. But that they rank so many exchanges, it's like over 300. And I just think back to a few years ago where there were so few exchanges. And now we've got a complex ranking mechanism of the exchanges. And hey, it just shows you how fast this space is growing. And all over the world, we got exchanges. Some of them are trying to comply to government regulations. Okay, that's their business. So going back to CoinMarketCap, they've got a conference coming up. They're having a conference in Singapore, November 12th to 13th. Now, again, I was just talking about CoinGecko, and CoinGecko is a better site, most likely, than in CoinMarket, but most people go to CoinMarket. And hey, they're not standing still. They're in motion also. They're having a conference in Singapore from the 12th to 13th. They call it The Capital, a one-of-a-kind crypto and blockchain event like you have never experienced before. Oh, well, I've got a feeling that we have experienced something like it before. Some of the events that were going on during the height of the ICO mania, with everyone trying to sell you on their altcoin or their ICO. It probably is going to trend toward that a little bit. It's got a lot of, you're listing Bitcoin, of course, as your number one, but then you've got like 2,000 altcoins. So I would assume your conference is going to deal a lot with altcoins. And there's some ICO related things still on there, of course. Hey, but this is where the big boys play. You don't have to attend the conference. Compete, don't complain. They've been competing, and the general market, they still they still want to know where their altcoin ranks in the top 200 or whatever ridiculous thing. They haven't gotten the picture that just play with the tippity top, the number one, baby. Bitcoin, pound that like button. Link to below is the debate between Yanni and Udi that I was the referee for. You can watch the entire thing at Block TV. It's linked to below. One thing that I believe Udi said it, he thinks Bcash is going to change their name eventually. It's not really called Bcash now. I don't use that other term that they use, but he thinks they're going to change their name eventually. That was an interesting prediction on his part. I don't agree with that one, but hey, wanted to share that. Otherwise, I'm not a big fan of debates, even though I was the referee of the debate. It was a friendly discussion, and it covered a lot of things we're already familiar with. We know Udi does not like altcoins. If you're familiar with his Twitter feed, well, if you want to see what he looks like and what Yanni looks like and what I look like, watch the thing, I guess. Don't know how much you're going to learn. Entertainment only, I guess. So, again, if you want to learn a lot, though, check out my Bitcoin Focus series. I had a Tour de Meester, Trace Mayer. It's all linked to at disruptmeister.com. They were fun ones. I had that one on the NFL recently. Been tweeting out some good things at TechBalt, by the way. Follow it over there. Speaking of Twitter, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, he tweeted out the following. The Federal Reserve, oh my God, this is unbelievable. The Federal Reserve should get our interest rates down to 0 or less. So we were talking about negative interest rates the last 2 shows, talking about it again because the president wants them. He wants them. Bring them on, he says. And we should then start to refinance our debt. Interest costs could be brought way down while at the same time substantially lengthening the term. We have the great currency power and balance sheet. So again, he wants to keep borrowing. That's the example he's setting for America, and most people do that anyway. So, but negative interest rates would create quite a situation in the United States, and it really does look like we will get there. Your pension plan will be destroyed with that. You pensioners who are just relying on your pension, don't rely on your pension. Make Bitcoin your pension plan. You got to get, the writing is on the wall here. It's the president of the United States saying he wants this, okay? And maybe he's not going to bring it on, but probably the Democrats will want the same thing for the same reasons. So they can keep borrowing, putting off repaying the debt. And they'll get away with it. They'll get away with it because people are addicted to the dollar. They're addicted to the welfare dollar. That's how they get paid in their free stuff. And those with government pensions, they will get increases in their government pension. Those of you stuck with private pension funds from your company, you're going to get wrecked. They're not going to be able to pay you more money once your money is worth less. That's why you got to get into Bitcoin. All right, they're not able to print it like the U.S. The U.S. will be able to print all the lovely government workers that worked 25 years and then live for 50 years after that off of the government doing nothing, as they did nothing the 25 years when they were working for the government. Now, I don't like Bitcoin banks. I think you should control your own private key, put it on your Trezor, put it on your Ledger, whatever, your hardware wallet. But Bitcoin banks, for one thing, they're not going to be, there's going to be no negative interest rates over there, okay? No negative, they're not going to need to do that. Once there are negative interest rates with banks, Bitcoin banks won't need to do negative interest rates, okay? Because people that will get into Bitcoin will want nothing to do with anything. That's why they're going to get into Bitcoin. They're going to be offended by negative interest rates for their dollars. So they're going to get Bitcoin, but some of them foolishly aren't going to trust themselves to keep that Bitcoin. So they'll go to a Bitcoin bank and, and then they're going to think they're going to be incentivized. Well, now I'm in this Bitcoin thing. I want to go back to the old school when I got interest. And so they'll get, less than 1% interest at the Bitcoin bank, or 1% or 2% interest at the Bitcoin bank. So, hey, it's a better interest rate, definitely, than a negative interest rate. And at least they'll have their coins in Bitcoin. But again, people, best way to do it, control your own private key. Don't put it in a Bitcoin bank, even though you'll be getting positive interest rates opposed to negative interest rates. You won't be getting your crypto dividends, which will, in theory, could pay more than the interest rates that the Bitcoin banks will be paying. You be your own bank. Yeah, I definitely don't have anything to do with dollar banks if they're charging you any sort of fee or negative interest rate, which will be happening very soon. Trump just foreshadowed it there a little bit. And again, mention me. People have been mentioning TechBalt on Twitter, and I have been retweeting their good tweets. Best guest in the space. I'm still working on This Week in Bitcoin. Who's going to be on? Who knows? Who knows who we're going to have on, or when I'm going to record it, or whatever. Behind the scenes info there. So go. Speaking of interviews, though, and great guest, Gabor Gurbax, the guy who works for VanEck. He tweets about the VanEck ETF sometimes. He was interviewed by Block Digest on their YouTube channel. I played at 2x because those dudes can talk a little slow sometimes. So it'll only be a half an hour. I haven't listened to the entire thing yet, only just to start. That's great. That is great they got that dude on their show. That's awesome. So I'm assuming you can learn a lot from that. All right, pound that like button. Good and good for them. Those dudes are really hardcore Bitcoin guys. You got to give them credit. When Rick was on my show before, Rick who's associated with them. Who's in Colorado, has been on my show on This Week in Bitcoin before. Anyway, pound that like button. bang that bell button. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, check out the links below, and click on all those squares that you see right now. You're seeing squares on there to check out some older shows. And it's, yeah, it's just remember today. Definitely remember today. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.